Hello everyone, welcome to Canada 24 Press. Before we get into it, I do want to encourage you to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. With the economic uncertainty that Canada is facing and may endure in the near future, the political decisions of this year will be more important than ever. In the face of a possible recession and a tariff war with Trump, Canada must leverage its economic capabilities to avoid the worst for its citizens and businesses. Even though the recent data from Trading Economic are slightly optimistic, with a debt to GDP of 110.8% compared to what was expected, and also a government budget deficit equal to 1.35%, there is still hope, because it is totally feasible to reduce them, but only if good choices will be made. Among the issues that could prevent us from taking the right turn, there is energy and ecology. Canada stands at a pivotal juncture in its energy journey. With vast natural resources and a commitment to sustainability, how do we balance economic growth with environmental stewardship? Canada's energy mix is diversified, and each province has bet on a different type of energy source. From hydropower to biomass, the national electricity supply is composed of 14% nuclear, 12% natural gas and oil, 6% wind, and 5% coal. Wind and solar, while growing, are intermittent. Their power output varies by season and time of day. Without advanced storage and their real long term impact on the environment, their reliability remains limited. Meanwhile, hydropower is the backbone of Canada's electricity generation. Supplying 60% of the national grid, it is the primary source of energy for homes, businesses across several provinces. Quebec, British Columbia, and Manitoba rely extensively on hydroelectricity. In Quebec alone, over 94% of electricity is hydro generated. However, hydropower isn't easily stored. Most of the electricity generated is delivered directly to the grid using high voltage direct current lines and used in real time. It cannot be stored in large amount long term. Between 6 to 10% of the electricity is lost when traveling through long distance power lines. Only few regions, such as Quebec and British Columbia, use pumped hydro storage. This involves storing energy by pumping water into elevated reservoirs during low demand and releasing it through turbines during peak usage. Natural gas and oil, by contrast, are storable and globally tradable. In 2024, oil export totaled over 147 billion Canadian dollars, while natural gas export reached 14.4 billion Canadian dollars. These resources are easy to stockpile and ship to international markets. Alberta leads Canadian crude oil and natural gas production, followed by Saskatchewan and Newfoundland. Alberta alone accounts for roughly 80% of natural oil production and nearly 70% of gas output. However, transporting this energy to other provinces, particularly Quebec and Ontario, is where infrastructure's complications emerge. Canada lacks a unified east west pipeline system. In many cases, oil from Alberta travels south through the United States using American pipelines and then re enters Canada for use in eastern provinces. This roundabout route poses sovereignty challenges and creates inefficiencies in domestic energy logistics. Furthermore, Canada's limited number of coastal export terminals, especially on the Atlantic and Pacific, restrict its capacity to ship oil and gas directly to overseas markets, while the Trans-Mountain expansion helps increase capacity to the Pacific, bottlenecks remain. To understand the importance of East-West pipeline, let's do some history. Historically, similar facilities had huge impact on civilizations. For example, the Roman road system was one of the most advanced and ambitious facility achievement of the ancient world. Constructed from around 312 years before the modern era, These roads eventually extended over 400,000 kilometers, with about 8,000 kilometers paved in stone. The roads linked major cities, ports, and borders across modern day Italy, France, Britain, Turkey, Tunisia, and beyond. This helped unify diverse cultures under the Roman rule. The Roman roads had many important impacts. They helped the Roman army move quickly and safely across the empire, from Britain to Syria, from North Africa to the Danube, which made it easier to defend and expand their territory. The roads also boosted trade by allowing goods like food, wine, oil, pottery, and metals to move between cities and regions. This made the Roman economy much stronger. Historians estimate that thanks to these roads, goods could travel up to 3 times faster. Some key trade routes even moved thousands of tons of grain from Egypt to Rome each year. The road also helped spread Roman culture, laws, and language to new places, making the empire more united. Similarly, in Canada, the trade routes of the northwest coast nations, such as the Haida, Tliget, Smishan, and Coast Salish, played a pivotal role in the economic and cultural strength of indigenous societies in what is now British Columbia, Alaska, and Washington state. This nation developed an advanced network of maritime trade routes that followed the Rock Pacific coastline and connected hundreds of coastal villages and inland communities. Their most remarkable achievement was the creation of the ocean going cedar canoe. These canoes could measure over 15 meters long and transport heavy trade goods. Their slick design made them fast, stable, and highly maneuverable, even in open ocean water and strong coastal currents. These canoes were not just boats, they were technological masterpieces perfectly designed to achieve an economic stability. Many other infrastructures have shaped human history, and each had a major impact on these civilizations, and a similar analysis should also apply to modern Canada. So, to address climate change and economic challenges, Canada is investing in green energy storage solutions. The goal is to make intermittent sources like wind, solar more reliable, reduce fossil fuel dependency, and stabilize the grid. Initiatives like the Oneida Battery Project represent steps forward, but scalability remains a hurdle. While renewables grow, oil and gas continue to anchor Canada's economy. Energy export, particularly oil and gas, account for nearly 25% of total export. The sector also funds public services through billions in royalties and taxes. Despite environmental debate, these industries remain crucial. Without them, Canada loses economic strength, international leverage, and domestic resilience. Now and since the elections, voices around Bill 669 are spreading, some calling for its repeal, others for its preservation. The bill, passed in 2019, restructured how major projects are approved. It expanded environmental and social consideration in assessments and empowered federal ministers to cancel projects. While well intentioned, this framework introduced delays and uncertainties. It has discouraged investment, especially in oil and gas, the sector that contributes most to Canada's economy and funds the Equalization Program, from which Quebec is the top recipient. In contrast, Alberta is the largest contributor. A revised bill could maintain environmental integrity while enabling strategic national projects. Canada needs pipeline, grid, and export capacity to grow our economy, reduce our debt to GDP, and improve our industrial capacities. A shift to a greener economy is not negotiable, but only when the technology allows us to do so. Right now, we still need more research to improve our green energy sector. I will leave you with this example. The first car was built in 1885. Its main purpose, transportation, remains the same today. But from 1885 to 2025, industries invested in technology to improve it. Today's cars are safer, faster, and cleaner. So let's do the same with green energy. First, we need to invest in technology. Then, we will be ready to rely on it 100% in the near future. Canada's energy future is not about choosing between the environment and the economy. It's about using both to build a resilient nation. Reforming Bill C-69 could bridge green ambition with industrial capacity that already increased in 2025 by 1.4% compared to December 2024, when it was only minus 0.9%. Now marks the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. See you next.